Why does the black man serve the white man? Why does everything the black man do benefit the white man? Why does the black man say freedom is doing what I want to do? And why is it that everything he wants to do enriches the European?
Welcome to the desert of the real.
You don't mind if I chime in?
Please do.
I said, we've been waiting for you, Holip.
No, I'm letting everybody talk.
Yeah.
So I can just, have free reign to get because there's a lot to unpack.
Yeah,
from everything I've heard.
Let me just finish with
but
this
I'm
point.
just going to speak from my perspective. And keep in mind, these are my thoughts. This is Holip. This has nothing to do with the BAIO. This is based on me and my experience. A lot of people might know this story. When I was in my 20s, my friends and my cousins were all into the knowledge, so to speak. And we were studying religions and cultures and this and that and all these different ideologies. And in our 20s, early 20s, we came to the conclusion like, wait a minute. Everybody is saying, there might be different ideologies, but they all seem to agree on one thing, who their enemy is. Everybody has a version of that enemy. The white man is the devil. The white man is this, the sons of Cain, whatever you want to come up with. Some origin story, like a comic book, of who their enemy is. So we said, well, wait a minute. If that's the case, then that's a common denominator. Why don't, and then this is what we thought as young, immature people, naive. If everybody's saying that this is the enemy, then why don't we unite against this enemy? And therefore began the birth of Mr. Holism. Because the reality is, and this is an uncomfortable reality that a lot of people don't want to deal with, we are not all on the same page. We don't all agree that we should be in power. There are people that are not honest players in this game. And I'm going to prove it to you. When did the Rwanda genocide happen? 1994? It's 2022 now. What state is Rwanda in?
The cleanest, one of the cleanest cities in the world, top 5.
And how long did it take? 1994 to 2022. Where a group of people said, we don't want this to be the way that it is, and we want to change it. How long did that take? Now let's juxtapose that against us here in America. How long have we been here? If everybody really wants us to be in power, if everybody really wants socioeconomic and political power, we would have had it a long time. It wouldn't have been 500 fucking years. When it takes that long, that means that there's somebody involved that is not for the interest of our people. So, and like I've said, I'm not speaking for the BAIO. I'm speaking for me. I'm with Umoja. I don't want to talk to these people. And this is another thing. I gotta say this. I want somebody to copy and paste where this conversation is happening in an ADOS meeting, where this conversation is happening in an FBA meeting, where it's happening in a Native American meeting or a Jewish or Hebrew meeting, where they're sitting there taking them to task for how they treat African or Pan-Africanists or Black nationalists. Copy and paste it so I can look at that and view it. You notice that this only becomes an issue when we clap back. People can talk about Africa all day long, shit on Africa, shit on Pan-Africanism, shit on the concept of land infrastructure, nature. No, but I've never heard anybody take them to task. So my thing is this. If you're not African, stay the fuck out of the conversation. You're not my enemy. You're not important enough to be my enemy. I don't care about you. I don't care about what you think. If you think you're Native American, go to a fucking teepee, smoke a peace pipe, and fuck around and try to get your country back from this white man. If you're Jewish, get some gefilte fish or whatever and go and put a yarmulke. I don't give a fuck what you do. Stay out of our meetings. because we know what we want. There's no more debates. We want land, infrastructure, nationhood. We've identified the land that we want, and we are going about the process of fixing that up. Period. Point blank. End of story. And if you ain't down with that, stay out of our discussions. It's simple. And that's all I got to say about that.
Again, it goes back to the basic. If you don't agree with the basics, there's nothing for us to talk to you about because you don't even agree with us on the basics. So it's not worth it. I mean, we having a conversation about who we are instead of, like Holip said. I mean, like land infrastructure nationhood. Remember 2008? Obama was elected 2008. And what have black folks done in the last 14 years? Can somebody answer for me? I think, did we do something? I must have.
I'll just say one last thing, Jabari, because I think this is relevant to what you just asked. And I've made this analogy before. If you're in a room with 10 people, and the room is dark, and there's a working lamp, a working light bulb, and a working light socket, right? And you leave those 10 people in that room for a week. You come back a week later, and the room is still dark. What does that tell you? That means all 10 of them motherfuckers did not want that room to be with lights. It is what it is. If there's so many, because I keep getting this impression, and this is from people that are really, and I'm not being insulting, but I'm just being real, are naive to think that everybody is for the upliftment and the advancement of black people. If that was the case, it's impossible to go 500 years without us being in a better position than we are in right now. The only way that can happen is if we got people amongst us who are looking at our downfall, who are throwing turds in the punch bowl, who's preventing us from doing things. How do you go from 1994, a genocide, to go into one of the cleanest nations on the earth and an up-and-coming, thriving, probably, I would say, one of the most progressive black nations in fucking Africa? How do you do that in that short period of time? But yet you got people here who claim that everybody, we're all in the same game, or we all want to say, no, we fucking don't. We don't all want the same. And I'm not just saying that based on nothing. I've came up in this whole cultural conscious community. This stuff ain't even African. The cultural conscious community ain't even African. There's elements of it that's in fucking space. They claiming other planets as their home. Why are we having a conversation, a debate with these people? Let them do what they want to do. Let us do what we have to do, and we'll see who ends up at the finish line. Let's do it that way. But I don't see anybody taking these people to task for the endless amounts of attacks against Pan-Africanism and Black nationalism. I don't see it. And if I'm wrong, copy and paste where the discussion is happening, where people is taking other people to task for coming after Africa, because I'm going to defend Africa. And I'm not, and when it comes to that, I'm not playing defense when it comes to defending Africa. I'm going on the offense. If you're going to diss us, I'm going to diss you. But the solution to that is stay out of our way. We'll stay out of your way. You do your own thing. We'll do our own thing. Let's connect with people of like mind who have the same principles and values as us, and let's get shit done. Because the debates are over. The Native American has lost their country, and they ain't getting it back. That's the facts. White people have swamped this country. There's much more white people here than there are Native Americans. How are you going to get your country back? It's over. And if people think that it's not possible, that you think that Africa is going to be for Africans just because we African, at one point, Native Americans owned this country. What happened? You think that it's some right of yours to own something that you don't have to defend it and protect it? So it's very possible that Africans could be in the same situation that Native Americans in. Because when by all accounts, with this whole what they call it, global warming and global what's the term they use?
Climate change.
Climate change and all of that. With all the destruction that's going to happen all over the earth, you know what they're going to be looking at? They're going to be looking at the land sources that are stable. And when they start turning their eyes to that, what makes you think that Africans are going to have control or still be the dominant people in Africa? When everybody from the fucking globe is going to have their eyes on the continent. They already have their eyes on the continent now. And we sitting over here having debates about if we are even African. Do you see how ridiculous that is? Why would I want to have that debate with somebody? Believe what you want to believe. If you want to be a head of lettuce, I don't care. Stay out of our conversations. Stay out of our way.